It's a really nice day today. It's a kind of consecration, to be in Berlin because actually I started in Berlin and I don't want to say I finished in Berlin, but I really appreciate this city. So creative. So it's a capital for street art. This city is absolutely incredible, and so I'm very pleased to be here and to be invited by Hugo Create for this incredible event, and that I really appreciate. Yeah. Graffiti, because I saw graffiti art in New York City in 1971. I saw the first graffiti making by the American young guys in New York in the subway, and I was very impressed by that. I was not involved at all in graffiti art at that moment, but I was very impressed by what I saw in New York. So it took me 10 years to digest what I saw in New York and to make it by myself. So I started 10 years after, in 1981 in Paris. My first graffiti was very simple. I make rats, full of rats, where I used to live in my area, and after that it's a long story, and I met a guy whose name is Richard Hambleton. He's an American guy from New York, and he went to Paris and he started to make huge paintings of shadow in Paris, and I was very impressed by that. So after that I decided to make huge characters, and so it's a long story. My life is a long story because I started 30 years ago now, and and I start to be old also. So this is one of my iconic images that I used to make in the 80s in Paris. The first time I made it was in Paris, actually, in 1984. So the image is a little primitive. It's not really well done because I evolved now a lot in my work, and I changed a lot, and so you will see the next images will be more precise and beautiful. But it's a very iconic image, very important image of my work since I started. I remember my first image was an old man screaming in the street. He was wearing a cap, and he had a suit, but he was screaming in the street. Something screaming. We don't know what he was screaming, but he was screaming. And for some people, he was a Buster Keaton. For other people, he was a derelict. For another people, he was an anarchist. For other people, he took different interpretation. And this is the great thing of street art, that we don't have any big message to say to the people. That we make a present to the people, and each people that can interpret with the image, with their possibility, In my opinion, we are a continuation of pop art movement, and so I was very influenced by those people that were thinking. I was very influenced also by the situationist movement. Okay, so have you heard about the group of the situationists in the 60s? Because their ideas was really in advance. It's completely in 2011. those ideas of the 60s, it's absolutely actual. It's absolutely in our time, still in our time. If you read, for example, some article written by those people in the 60s, you will see that at that time they used to say that art don't belongs to the rich people, art belongs to everybody, and some ideas like that, which was completely incredible in the 60s, but still completely belonging to our time again. Because this movement of art, it's in my humble opinion, it's the most important movement of art of all the time. If you see that there is no city in the world without graffiti. Everywhere you can find graffiti art. Even if you go to Beijing or if you go to New York, Paris, Berlin, everywhere you can find graffiti art. So it's a huge movement of people, of young people, people from my age too, who create things for the people. And people have to know that it's a present that you make to the people. It's not an aggression. Street art is not an aggression that we make to the people. It's really a present that we make to the people. It's a beautiful art. Okay. But be an artist. Be an artist. It's the best choice you can make in the world, in the life.